Very good. Okay, we'll start off with a cheers. It's been 20 years, can you believe it? I'm still standing. Most importantly, Janine's still standing. Cheers, you guys, to the Lakeland. Woohoo! Awesome. Yeah, it's been a pretty awesome ride. You know, I never thought it would be 20 years in. My father and mom, they did business for 60 years, so I'll only be 100 or so, but we plan to make it. Janine said she's in. I heard her say that, so anyway. Okay, we got some great people here. First off, everybody saw Janine. So Janine's been part of All in the Wild for a very long time. Probably 20 years, right? Yeah, just over 20 years as well. Kind of when I started, yeah, woohoo! Thank you, Janine, for putting up with me. Marla is at the back. Her partner Ray is one serving wine as well. Marla is at our Waskesiu and Saskatoon gallery. She's awesome. George is there. He is my sister's husband. Yeah, so any of these photos you see tonight, George has been involved some manner. Sometimes he's wearing a furry costume trying to attract the animals. Just depends. No, I'm kidding. Anyway. And then Nicola. Nicola's at the back. That's my partner. So supporting me all the way along the way now. So thank you, Nicola. Yeah, appreciate it. And then there's a few previous people. Nancy DeMong is here. She used to work at the gallery. I don't know, is there anybody else that used to work here? We've hired a lot of different people. If anybody's looking for a job, let us know, because we always have work for you. So, okay, so kind of like the Beatles, this all started with me being a one-shot wonder. You know, they only have one good song, Here Comes the Sun. And I really only have one good photo, Having a Bad Feather Day. But who would have thought that acting in a manner of helping out an animal would lead to a career in nature photography that spans these 20 years. So friends and I were up at Besnard Lake, and we happened upon this scene of a bald eagle in the water and two talons sticking out of the tail feathers. And we thought, oh goodness, what's going on here? And being biologists and knowing we're 6 hours away from the nearest vet clinic, we thought, ooh, we're most likely going to have to euthanize this animal. And back in the day, I was shooting film, so I only had 36 pictures for that whole entire trip. I took about 12 of this eagle. That's it. Nowadays, I would have filled up a car to 1,200 shots. But it turned out that he just needed a helping hand to the shore. Picked a rocky shore, had to get him up onto shore, and he soppingly ran up, spread his wings out, and was drying them in the sun. And we checked on him 5 hours later, and whoops, wrong direction. And he was having a bad feather day. Yeah. Now, I have this in every bathroom that I have in my home, because every morning I wake up and I go, it could be a lot worse. And by the end of the day, when I go into the bathroom, I'm like, well, that's exactly what I look like, so it's perfect. Anyway, but what an incredible moment. And I have to say, in the entire career of being part of All in the Wild, there's been a lot of random and things you just can't plan. They just have to happen. A lot of images that just happen and then create, and I get to share them with all of you. So it's pretty fantastic what I've been provided. And many of you know I actually was trained as a biologist. Yeah, I worked on Arctic fox in Canada's Central Arctic. It was an amazing place, and it basically was something I had to share with everyone. I borrowed my other sister's camera on the first trip up there, an old Minolta camera. When I came back from that trip, people said, wow, those are actually pretty good images. So that next year, I found a used camera, not on Facebook Marketplace, you know, in the Star Phoenix in the for sale columns. Yeah, I'm getting old. Anyway, but the young people at the back are, what's the Star Phoenix? Anyway, and took this new camera up and came back, and people just said, wow, what amazing, amazing images. And it's a gift of my eye, a gift to actually know what these animals might do. And that biology background has helped me throughout my entire career. What a lot of you don't probably know is that I actually was a very good golfer. Used to be a really good golfer. I'm not going to play anybody now, especially Donald Trump, for money. But I was a really good golfer, and I actually got 2 years of golf scholarship. But biology kept calling me. Yeah, it was what I wanted to do. And so it's neat how my career kind of unfolded. And some of you probably drove by this place. This is it up here 20 years ago. I'm sure you saw the for sale sign, and you're like, wow, that would be such a dream property to purchase. Half of these windows were busted out, okay? They had been used as target practice. Behind those walls was the kitchen. It was originally the Boundary Bell restaurant. Did anybody here eat there? Yep. Yeah, how was it? Are you admitting this? How was it? Yeah, actually, they said it was pretty good. Yeah, the steaks were great and such. Other people? Yeah, and what'd you guys think? The Hansons, yeah, it was good. Yeah. So, anyway, it sat vacant for a long time. And some people know this story, but when my friends dropped me off right on that porch right there, with a big 26-foot cube vehicle and unloaded all the stuff into this space here, there's a famous photo, I couldn't find it, but there's the 4 of us on that walkway. And what I didn't know is that when they drove back to Saskatoon, they had a bet how long I would be here. And we're not talking about months. We're talking days. Did he really sell his house in Saskatoon and buy that? Are you kidding me? Anyway, Janine and Jacqueline and the whole family came behind me. You guys will not believe this. My mom stained all these beautiful floors. There was a lot that went on. There was more wildlife inside the building than outside the building. The first night I stayed inside that building, I woke up in the middle of the night to a red fox sitting right beside my cot. And why was he in there? Because there were so many mice in there. Yeah, it was pretty incredible. Yeah, it was a little bit interesting. That's my brother-in-law hanging it took us a whole year to renovate this place. That's the sign going up. And then after that, the whole community was just awesome and great neighbors, the Sealanders. We're going to cheers to that big guy, Arnold Sealander. He passed this year. He was a woodsman. To Arnold. Yeah, to Arnold. Yeah. Anyway, he was instrumental in me raising this little raccoon. So this came from the Lakeland area, and he was the pest control officer. He unfortunately had to shoo a mom out of a boat, and he goes, "Oh my goodness, I found this little one, Jason. What would you do?" And I said, "Well, I'll try to raise her." And she got her name Squirt. Do you guys know why? So food's going in, liquids are going in, nothing's coming out. Well, mother raccoons stimulate the little baby raccoons to go to the bathroom, right? Yeah, so I had to do what I had to do. And I'm a mother. No, I used a wet cloth. And the very first time she went to the bathroom, she had so much pressure buildup, she squirted my other sister, Jacqueline. That's how she got her name Squirt. So, okay, just checking. Can you guys hear at the back still? And you guys can hear? Okay, we're good. Perfect, okay. Anyway, I have a lot to say thanks to Janine. Been instrumental in all this, and instrumental in keeping this gallery going over the years and adding Waskasiu. So to Janine, thank you again. Appreciate it. You got to have a big support system, and my family has been instrumental in making this all happen. Some days, if there's a lot of people in here that have probably done business or have farms, you know what it's like. There's tough days. So family's been everything. Nicola's been awesome. She loves the trees. So thank you, Nicola, for continuing to love the trees there and being a part of this All in the Wild ride. So yes, we're all in this together. So, yeah. Anyway, speaking of mosquitoes, you can see the mosquito on the far side there on top of the head. These guys are literally just 5 inches tall. They're just tiny little guys, little saw-whet owlets. And they're actually really common in the Lakeland area here. If you're ever out early in the morning or late in the evening and you hear a C note played on the piano and it's not followed or started with anything else, that is a saw-whet owl calling, okay? Can't be followed or started by anything else. And then you have to go looking in the trees for them. These guys lined up because what I didn't know until after I took the photo, why were they so interested in me, was that the click of my camera is the same sound that a mother owl would make when they're feeding them. Yeah, she'd be calling them. So that was a little bit of luck there, so pretty awesome. The Lakeland is full of all kinds of characters. Yeah. Look at his little white paw. Called him White Sox. Anyway, this was a special, so I'm going to talk about a couple or a few images that were released last fall, okay, and then there's a couple special ones that we haven't released yet that we're going to release tonight. But this was part of a photography shoot in the park where I was there for a week last June. And very special situation because with the foxes, a lot of times the dens are in a lot of trees or there's a lot of branches, you don't get a nice open scene. I had a nice open scene from my blind, which was actually my truck, and the mosquitoes weren't too bad. And so I got to observe these guys for about a week, but what started knocking on their door was a coyote. And about a week after I photographed them, I was by there, and they were gone. Yeah, because it would be a risk, right? Those coyotes might pick on the little kits, and then there might be a problem. Yeah, okay? We have to be respectful. Right now, over in the Nice's Beach area, there's a family of coyotes there. They're coming into someone's yard, right? You guys know all about this? Yeah? Some people know about this? Okay. Anyway, again, just when we're at the lake, don't forget, right? We have to remember that we're part of this and they're part of this as well, right? So when I talked to Bonnie Green, the conservation officer up here, about some different things, she said the best thing that ever happened was the locking garbage bins. That's been amazing. She goes, we don't have a lot of bear issues around the subdivisions anymore. They're more out on the acreages now. So good job, you guys, in keeping those bears safe. Okay, good job, good job. So, okay, with that, let's start with our first draw. Okay, I need a young person. Oh, Dale, you, buddy, you. It's awesome, awesome. You get to draw, and you even get to draw your own name if you happen to get it there, Dale. This is for a $50 gift certificate. Okay, let's see. Lorna Puzlowski. Yeah, back there, right? Congratulations. You, right? Okay, perfect, awesome. Congrats, Lorna. So after, you can come up here and it'll be here for you, okay? Perfect, okay. All right, so some of the research that's happened because of our amazing nature up here has actually gone worldwide. And so when you look at this, Dr. Henry, he was a famous biologist in the national park here in Waskesiu, and he did research on red foxes in the 70s. That research is still today republished and cited again and again and again. But in my new book, which you're going to get to see tonight, Wild Waskesiu and Beyond, we put this quote in the book. My advice is, go out and waste a lot of time carefully observing your animals. You may be surprised at the insights you discover. You may be surprised at the undiscovered richness of wildlife societies. Simply observing wildlife in its natural habitat can help with the understanding, interpretation, and conservation of wildlife, the animals with whom we share this planet. Great advice by Dr. Henry. Yeah, so beautiful, beautiful. What was the image that was released from that? Peanut butter and jelly. Snuggle sandwich, yeah. So I would be the one in the middle, and this would be my sister Janine, and that would be my sister Jackie, because they loved me so much. Yeah. Anyway. Awesome, awesome fun. This was an incredible moment. Probably one of the cutest shots that I've ever taken, to be honest with you all. I felt super blessed to be able to snap that. And it goes to show if you spend the time, things will happen. So really, really fun, really fun. Yeah, fun. Okay, we'll switch gears to another release. What did somebody say? Mom. Did somebody say that? Yeah. So, yeah, interesting comment. So, these ravens, just so you know, they have intelligence of a 6-year-old. Incredible, right? Yeah, they're super smart birds, super smart birds. Nicola and I were on the West Coast in June on a photography trip, kayaking, and we were being guided. And we had the guides one morning, they came out, and they said, did you hear that raven this morning? And we're like, yeah. Did you hear what it was saying? And it was literally saying, Mom, Mom, Mom. And they guide that area quite often, and they said one raven, might be more ravens, but what it ends up doing, it sounds like a child saying, Mom. Campers leave their area, right? They go, oh my goodness, there must be a child over there. And the raven swoops down and grabs some food. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. This is honestly the truth. They are super smart birds. Like, I'm not joking. From people laughing, I got to feel people think I'm lying. I do lie a lot, but not on that one. I don't. Nicola, are you backing me up? Yeah, she's backing me up. Okay. Anyway, super intelligent bird. They have the ability to use tools. We should be so respectful of ravens. And just so you all know as well, okay, when we look at ravens and magpies and some of those corvid species, they're protected by law, okay? You cannot hunt them, all right? So I'm going to talk a little bit later about something that is starting to happen back in Alberta. Okay, raven kiss. Yeah, beautiful. Hey, if you love ravens, this is just a beautiful image. They do mate for life. Okay, so they do mate for life. Yeah, they do. It's awesome. If one of the partners dies, they will find a new partner, okay, but it usually takes a couple years. So they have a lot of dedication to their family. What's the other interesting story? I'm running a blank, but if I think of it, I will let you know. Why does this behavior here, this billing behavior or beaking behavior, that's actually a show of affection. Totally a show of affection. Okay? Okay, I'm going to take a break. Anybody have questions before I go on to the next one?
Do crows mate for life too or not?
I don't know if crows mate for life or not. I'd be a little bit skeptical. I don't know that for sure, though. I don't know. We'll have to Google it. Okay? All right, good question. How long do they live? Yeah, they can live into their mid-20s. Yeah, they can be a long-lived bird. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I would say on average, but yeah, like bald eagles, some of these species, they can go into their 30s. But yeah, I'd say mid-20s is pretty average. Yeah, they're long-lived species. Yeah, yeah. Any other? Yes?
How does the crow intelligence compare? Because I had a pet crow and a pet magpie growing up, and the crow recognized us. It was amazing. Magpie was a little bit dumb. But the crow was pretty incredible.
Yeah, when I was reading up on the raven, there was stuff about the crows as well, and I think they're very similar. I think it's not too much difference between ravens and crows in terms of intelligence. Yeah, good question. Yeah. Yeah, super intelligent birds. Very smart. Yeah. Any other questions? So I forgot to mention when I started the talk, if you have any questions, just zip them in while we're going, okay? Totally interactive. So these guys, oh, whoops, going the wrong direction, sorry. Yeah, unconditional. And again, another species that mates for life is the puffins. And this has been one of my most popular images that I've released. And I have to say, how many people here have been to the Rock? Oh, wow, quite a few. Yeah, it's a beautiful part of Canada. People are super friendly. If you're driving by somebody painting a fence, go to the Home Hardware, get yourself a paintbrush, and go back to that fence and help those people. No, seriously, we saw that one morning. A lady was painting her fence. An hour later, we drove by. There was 8 people painting the fence. It was amazing. So, yeah. Anyway, these guys mate for life as well, and they'll actually give gifts to each other sometimes. Excuse me for a sec. To keep the pair bond strong. So a couple years ago, I was in Newfoundland with Nicola, and we decided to go back last year because we just loved the area. And our focus was a little bit more on whales and on icebergs. And this amazing little event happened. Yeah, this is from my drone. Slow motion, seeing that calf. And then look at the waves coming. This is where Nicola's getting off the dock. Jason, we're going to be swamped. I'm like, we're fine, we're fine. Oh, look what's happening. And then I was like, Nicola, run. Anyway, incredible to see this iceberg slowly calving. Yeah, just incredible. And along the shore, all the ice, and to think when you put that in your chaga rum, they have chaga rum in Newfoundland, you're drinking 10,000-year-old water. Wow, incredible, yeah. Quite a neat moment. So the focus was kind of the icebergs. This was a great little moment, and also the whales.
What time of year was
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, what time of year was
Actually, last year, it was late. It was July, mid-July. Yeah, like usually the icebergs are going to be June, but we found a lot of, like we had 3 or 4 different locations where we had icebergs in mid-July. But if you are going, it's June.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been in June. And,
Did you see them?
oh yeah, we saw them, but I've never seen one break up like that.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. That was in Seal Cove, so we could be right in the cove where they were. Yeah, we were lucky. And this was a, I'll just leave you enjoy. Look at those big giants. Oh, sorry. Another one down below probably. 50 feet long. They're tiny. I like that. 50,000 pounds in weight. Incredible, eh? Yeah. Those are humpback whales. So they were almost hunted to extinction. Now they're one of the most common whales in the world. They came back. They're a whale that is very altruistic. So they will help out other animals. They've been shown when killer whales are attacking seals and such, sometimes or smaller whales, they'll get involved and they'll try to confuse the killer whales. Amazing. They're the only ones that have spindle cells in the whale species. What does that mean? They actually can feel emotions of empathy. Yeah. Yeah, amazing. We have no idea the connections that we have to the natural world, right? We have no idea. So, are you okay?
Yeah, I was
Okay, all right, okay. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful. So I was permitted by Department of Fisheries and Oceans, okay? You can't just fly drones around wherever you want. You do have to be respectful. They can end up impacting the animals. And captured this amazing image off the coast. It's a little rock outcrop in Twillingate, one of my favorite communities. Ocean Harmony, yeah. So you'll see that at the back of the gallery. We have it in one of our acrylic prints. So just to remind you, acrylic prints, all my work is still printed on paper, and that's the most important thing. That's that archival paper that's going to make the print last. So while we're talking about drones, let's go to some new conservation lands. $160-acre parcel, okay, of land. Has a conservation easement on it, means it can never be developed, all right? And right up here in the kind of Lakeland area, over by Meath Park. So everyone, we're at 1,760 acres now. Let's keep going. Congratulations to you guys. You guys make this happen. 6% of all sales go to our land fund. Sorry? Yeah, 100 meters above. Yeah, that's with my license, I'm allowed to fly at 100 meters of height. Yeah, so beautiful, beautiful area. One of the still images from the area. Yeah, just gorgeous. Okay, let's do another draw for a gift certificate for $50 again. Okay, are you going to help us out, Heather?
Oh, sure.
All right.
In 20 years, this will be the one that I pick my own.
Oh, you can't pick your own, remember? Dale tried that, and I hit his hand. What do we got here? Cheryl McKenzie. Okay, perfect, congrats. Congrats to Cheryl. Okay, so after come up and it'll be up here for you, okay? Gift certificate, awesome. Okay, how's everybody doing? How's the heat? We're about 10% of the way through the talk, okay? So everybody doing good? Yeah, that's always my joke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. After 20 years, are these jokes getting old or? No? Anybody been here for all 20 wine events? What? Oh, Janine has been. George, you missed one. You missed one, big guy. Have you been here the pieces for all 20? No, haven't been here. Okay. I've been here for all 20. Anyway, we were going to give out some prizes for those people that were here, but sorry, you guys. Anyway, okay. All right. Let's go on to a little bit more serious note. But in terms of the conservation efforts and such, I do want to say thank you, really from the bottom of my heart. You know, my start was here. Our start of All in the Wild was here. We added the land fund in 2010. It's only been possible because of the start here. You guys supported us, continue to, and then we expanded, right? So we're so thankful. We ask you to continue to share what we're about, okay? Please do. And please, if you happen to work for awesome company or something, our new Waskasiu book, a great corporate gift for Christmas, okay? Please tell your friends, all right? We survive on you guys telling your friends to come visit our gallery. So thank you, okay? Honestly, thank you. Really do appreciate it. Okay, we're going to go on to a little bit more serious note here, just for a bit, because I do want to share this. People have brought it up tonight. I didn't know if I was going to include it or not. But we do have to talk a little bit about conservation in the mountain parks as well, okay? Yes, this is Nakota, right? That famous white bear from out in the mountain parks. That's the life she lived, you guys. That was her life. Her mom basically was a backcountry bear. So I met with the park bear biologist just about a week ago, and I actually taught the young man biology. So, and when I was leaving grad school, he was coming into grad school. Yeah, that's the Trans-Canada. I'm going to be honest, I don't know that she had a chance. Whether it was going to be 7 years, whether it was going to be 4 years, whether it was going to be 12 years. What happened was her mom was a backcountry bear. About 5 years ago, a train derailment in the field area created a huge grain spill. There was about 12 grizzlies that visited that area constantly, right? Free food, you're going to visit it, no question about it. At that point, her mom became a front country bear, right? Started going up against the Trans-Canada. Those beautiful, lush dandelions up against the highway that come out in the spring, they're going to be there. We had a similar situation in 2014 in the Kootenays, and our company got really involved, and there was a lot of quick changes there. And now, just so you know, in that area, there's 4 female bears. And that original mother bear that's there, she's on her 4th set of cubs. So what does that say? Change can happen. This is going to be complicated because it is the Trans-Canada Highway. And the section of road where we lost 4 grizzlies in a matter of 3 weeks is going to cost around $10 million to fence, okay? It's just a really tough section, you guys. And we lose majority of bears in that section of the highway. They did put electrical fence in the areas that she was, and she was respectful of that electrical fence. But if you can believe this, she found a 3-foot spot where she could get through. She was a tenacious bear. The dandelions are really good on the other side. And the other problem is that on the other side of that fence, there can be big male bears. And those male bears are very dangerous to the cubs and things like that. Parks Canada is taking it really hard. I want you guys to all know that they did everything they could. The man, when she did get over that fence, that night, their best bear kind of guardian, he got Nakota back over the fence while the 2 cubs were on the other side of the fence, on the highway side. He then managed to get those cubs back together with Nakota by working with the cubs and with Nakota. Oh, somebody coming in behind. Yeah. Oh, my other sister. This is always the problem sister. We go through this every year. Anyway, welcome, Jackie. Yeah, ouch, ouch. Anyway, long and the short, oh, you can, there's a chair there too, Jackie, or back there. Yeah, go through. Yeah, welcome. Long and the short is that he did everything he could that night. He got the electrical fence all back up, and he got the cubs and the mom all back together, and she found this 3-foot spot and went back on the highway, and the cubs got hit at 4:30 in the morning. She got hit 12 hours later. And I'm a biologist as well, and some of the comments that came out in the media were that, you know, mother bears, well, she probably wasn't going back to find the cubs. Who knows why she was going back on the road? I am a biologist. I say, have you heard the term mama bear? Anyway, good mom, good bear. Nakota, in the Stony Nakota language, means our friend and ally. She will not be forgotten. She will have a legacy. She will. And I think there's a lot of change that's coming down the pipe from what I understand, okay? And you can rest assured that we will be involved out there as well as all in the wild to advocate for these grizzly bears. Things do have to change. You might be surprised to know there's only 60 grizzlies in Banff National Park. Yeah, that's surprising for most people, okay? So we go to this big guy, the boss. Yeah, ooh, I like it. This was released as our Earth Day print for 2024, Out of the Darkness. That was some amazing light coming through the trees. Early morning, he had breath coming out of his mouth. Those shots didn't work out, but when he got into this beam of light, my shutter speeds went up and I was able to capture that. Just an incredible moment. He's the patriarch of the valley. He's father of over 50% of the cubs in the valley. He's been hit by the train and survived. He's in his mid-20s, so this is a success story, very much a success story, okay? But we do have to be careful. If you haven't read up on it, Google tonight, Alberta bear hunt, because they're talking about hunting bears in Alberta again, okay? We can't do that. There's only around 1,000 grizzlies. Historically, there were 6,000 to 9,000 grizzlies in Alberta. Imagine, he goes outside the park. He's a very habituated bear, okay? He goes outside the park, and he kills somebody's cow calf, right? He's going to be on the list. And right now there's insurance, right? The government does give insurance and helps farmers out if they lose a calf. There is systems in place. We don't need to hunt these bears. We need to educate more. We need to do more that way, okay? Question?
Is he collared? Is that how you know how old he is?
No, they collared him years ago, and they can pull a tooth, and then you can basically cut the tooth, and you can, it's almost like tree rings, but not like tree rings, and you can determine, yeah, how old he is, yeah, so. Also, what was I going to say? Sorry, you brought me up with something else that I was going to say about him, but I forgot. Any other questions? And just so you all know as well, Nakota is resting in her home in a very gentle spot, as the park biologist said, in a place that she frequented a lot. So, yeah. What that reminded me of, Nakota was collared, and so they actually could tell where she was, but the signals only come once an hour, so it's hard to figure out where she would be. And they were fixing that fence again that morning, and she was hit 200 meters down the road as they were fixing the fence. So he had a collar years ago, okay, but the male bears get a huge neck, and eventually they slide it off. Yeah, they will just slide the collar right off. When he did have a collar on, it showed that he ranged about 2,500 square kilometers, and in the springtime, this bear, he just walked up and down the valleys looking for girlfriends. Awesome article in the local paper in Canmore one time. The boss, all he does is eats and mates. Stay tuned. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Survivor boss. Anyway, great story about the patriarch of the Bow Valley. Yes? Yeah, a fair bit more in Jasper. And actually, when we look at like outside of the Banff area and that kind of really busy network of the Trans-Canada Highway, the grizzly bear numbers are slightly increasing. But it's the slowest reproducing mammal in North America. So a female grizzly has a reproductive rate of 1.6. So what does that mean? In her lifetime, she's going to replace herself, and she's going to add 0.6 of another female to the population. Don't forget, guys, we don't matter, right? We don't matter. No, we don't when it comes to populations. So every female bear is so important. And so the fact that parks, 7.5 years, they kept Nakota alive, they flew her to the backcountry a few times, the fact that they put so much in and then to lose her, it's a real blow to that population out there. Yeah, real blow. So, bad spot on the Trans-Canada. Yeah. Another question back there?
Are those claws or wheat?
Are those claws? Claws here. Yeah, these are claws. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so who's lobbying to bring the hunting back? Somebody must be.
Yeah, I would think somebody's putting pressure on the Alberta government to lobby. And the way that the hunting is going to come back is that they're going to allow the hunting of problem bears. So not full out, but you have to put in for a draw system. And then if there's a problem bear, you're allowed to hunt the bear. Really, that's the job of conservation officers, right? Conservation officers know how to take care of a bad bear, right? They know how to euthanize in a humane way. And there can be mistakes made, yeah. Nicola, was there a question back there?
I was just wondering, with the parks and the tracking with the grizzlies, do they track the DNA to see where in the lineage the parent bears are from? Like, so for example, with the boss, to track who he's fathering, I guess?
They do have DNA on all of them. They put out hair catchers, fur catchers. But I asked the park biologist about the lineage, and he really didn't share that. If I do find something out, it'll be posted on through our emails or whatever. But yeah, there is a concern, right? I mean, with that few grizzlies. But the good news is that there is a lot of transference with the populations. Obviously, the boss stays at home, but the boss has been known to go into the Kootenays, right? He'll make some big trips, so that's some genes over there now. Over in the Kootenays as well, there's a bear over there that nobody ever sees. Nick and I saw it last year, just this huge male bear, and even the parks biologist said, have you ever seen that big monster grizzly over in Kootenays? And I said, yeah, we actually have. He goes, nobody knew that bear even existed. There's a new mom and 2 cubs in Yoho Valley that they never knew existed. So let's be optimistic. In terms of Nakota, she was a special bear because of that white fur. But there is a population of those bears that exist in the Selkirk Mountains. But they usually have brown paws. They usually are never all white. So she was a very special bear. Yeah, yeah. Nakota, awesome. Quick little cheers, Nakota, if you still have some wine. Yeah, to the bears. Yeah, sorry. For those of you that don't have wine, you should pace yourself. should have said that earlier, right? Yeah, anyway.
If you have a problem bear, could you call them and have them pick it up and move it somewhere else, or would it automatically be called a problem?
So her question was, could you pick up a problem bear and move it? So they usually will give some opportunity and basically a chance to the bear, right? But there's a saying, and it is true, a fed bear is a dead bear. And so up here, I'm so happy to hear about the garbage, situation that's been occurring. If some of you are from Waskesiu, please make sure that you're voicing your opinion to Parks Canada, okay? There is a situation in the town site where some of the restaurants are not taking care of their recycling properly. We do have a problem bear in the Waskesiu town site. If you ever see people in a campsite and they drive away and they leave their cooler, go grab the cooler, put it in your camper, and then give it back to them and educate them, please, okay? These guys deserve to be here. They were here first, actually, right? So please help out wherever you can. Be stewards for nature if you can, okay?
I have another question too.
Yep.
I know when I was traveling around in Alberta that they have the animal.
Yeah, crossings.
Do they work?
100%. 100%.
Like, I thought they
Yes.
were weird looking, but at
No.
the same time, what would they be for except animals?
No.
And then I saw a sign and it said Animal Crossing.
Yeah, and the animals read that. They see Animal Crossing, and then they go, well, that's where I'm supposed to cross. Yeah, so no, it's perfect. You've never seen that on the road? Like they're standing there and they're like, and the problem is some of these bears speak French, so, and they only put it in English, so. Oh, my sisters are gonna give me it tonight. Okay, anybody ready to leave yet? Oh, Dale's got his hand up here. Oh, boy. Anyway, okay. On May 10th, the world came together. How many people got to experience it? Woohoo! Yeah, yeah. May 10th. Amazing. Were we in clouds here? I was in the mountains, luckily. It was cloudy here? It was clear. Oh. Actually, northern regions didn't get as good a show as south. This is in Canmore, which is, we might get them once a year if we're lucky. My hand was pink and green and every color. It was insane. Insane to see this. Beautiful with the reflection. That's called Sisters Symphony. Yeah, beautiful. So that was just released a couple weeks ago, yeah, on our website. So beautiful, beautiful moment. And then, of course, celebrating Banff, beautiful Banff and beyond. Okay? So that book is here tonight. It's a brand new release. It celebrates the 20 years of me doing photography in the mountains, my mountain journey. And pretty awesome little book, too, for those of you that love the mountains. Okay, so the boss is around 600 to 800 pounds in weight. Okay, so that big grizzly is around 600 to 800 pounds. Anybody want to guess how big this polar bear male is? Twice the size, you got it, 1,200 pounds. So when these big guys are on the ice and they're walking towards you on all four, they'll look you in the eyes. And then I just make sure that I can outrun my assistant that I brought. So, yeah, no, that's how I hire. 100-meter dash, if I can outrun you, let's go, let's go. So, anyway. If you're on crutches, you're hired. Yee. That's bad. I didn't say that. I did not say that. Anyway. After 20 years, you got to have a little fun, right? Little fun. Not too hot in here, is it? But I do get delirious. I actually have a condition called malignant hyperthermia. I know you don't want to know this, but I actually can overheat. So I love winter. If I overheat, I can get a little delirious. Just warning you. Okay. So this is up in the Arctic. They're well adapted to the cold. Minus 30, their metabolism doesn't even change. Okay? Day like today, How we would struggle at minus 30, they would be struggling the same. So in the summer times is when they actually go through something called walking hibernation. They do what a grizzly bear would do. They shut down, they use about a pound of weight per day just to kind of survive, and they just slowly amble through their environment. Maybe they'll get lucky with some food, maybe they won't. Their environment is changing. This will be my last kind of sad story, okay? We all know what's going on. We all have choices what we can do. But this winter, I've been going to the Arctic ice for 12 years, okay? And this winter, I was just shocked at what happened when I was there, okay? That's where I went through the ice. We're snowmobiling to our camp. It's not a great camp. It's a 10 by 12 plywood shack. You really don't want to get there anyway, but that's where you live. Anyway, about 400 meters from that camp, it's on an island, we got into some really rough ice. And for those of you that know a little bit about construction, you mix gravel and stones into concrete because it makes it stronger. So rough ice should be really, really strong. David's ahead of me, and he's navigating through some flat areas, through some rough areas, and every once in a while I see that his track looks moist. Well, that could just be that there was a crack in the ice, right, and some water kind of seeped over. Could mean something else. But after seeing it 2 or 3 times, I raced up beside David, and I stopped, and I said, David, I think that there's soft ice here. Well, I actually didn't do that until after. I stopped, got off my snowmobile to go tell him there was, I think it's thin ice. And I made 2 steps, and I just went through. The bottom gave way. Yeah, I am mortal. I am mortal. I caught my elbows on the ice, thankfully. I only went in up to my hips. Now I'm a little bit cold. And go over to David. His grandson came running to help me. I said, get away, we don't need more people in here, right? Because that's the risk. So I did the seal out, even made the sound, or. No, I didn't. No, I wasn't doing too well at that point, pretty scared. And I got over to David, and he said, wow, what's going on? And I said, I need a hug, dude. And he gave me a hug, because I needed one. And he said, we got to get you changed. And so we got me changed, and we got plastic bags on my feet, and I had all my gear, right? So I could put new socks on, got plastic bags on, put my feet back in my boots. Meanwhile, his grandson is walking around with the harpoon point. That's how they check the ice. And he comes back to his grandfather, and he says something, and I can't hear what he's saying, but I see David's expression change, and not for the better. David comes over to me, and he goes, there's no ice. We're only on snow. That's an area we've been going to for 12 years. It's how does this change this quickly? So at that point, he says, I'm going to make a trail. We're going to go that way. And I'm going to go fast. And you've got your Comatech behind. And you just go on that trail. And you keep your speed up. And you don't worry about the snow machine. I'm like, David, I don't think I can do it. And he said, okay, well then I'll go make that trail. I'll come back and get your sled. I'll take your sled, and then you can go on the snowmobile. I like, yeah, I can do that. Did that, got to the next section, and then David went ahead again for the next section, and it was clear that wasn't great, but it was a flat section. And David said, okay, we're going to go. I'm going to go ahead of you guys. When I get to that point, you guys come. Do not drive in my snowmobile tracks. Drive beside them and keep rolling. And as we went through those tracks, you could see that he had busted through many places.
The time when Jason went through, after he got out, my grandson, he take a spear on the trail that we did, go back, poke with a spear, not a field, straight down, right into the water. We drive right over that snow, just the snow. If we stop right there, we would have seen right there. All of us is okay, our snow machines are okay, but it was hard to think, how are we gonna get back? You know, spear just straight down, no, not a pressure, right through.
Yeah, this is a man who grew up on the land, and he told me stories years ago when he used to hunt out on the ice. He would look, when he was a kid, he'd look down the seal breathing holes, because a lot of times you can see the seals swimming down there. And he said, you used to be able to look down them, you couldn't see the bottom. You couldn't see the bottom of the ice. Yeah. These polar bears are going into fasting stage a lot sooner. That's part of their adaptations. Mother bears go 6 to 8 months without eating, and then they give birth and they head out onto the ice and they hunt. So they are a bear that can fast. They're very well adapted at that. It's just we can't extend that period so far. And we're actually not going to see polar bears starving. What we're going to see is we're going to see polar bears declining in terms of the number of cubs they're having. They're going to have less and less cubs. Not to be the bearer of bad news, but they are predicted to be extinct around 2100. So we moved to an inland camp, and we had some incredible experiences. Look at this. A mother ring seal with her little pup right there. Holy smokes. I'd never experienced anything like that in my life, nor had David. Just so, so cute. Amazing mother. And these guys can go underwater and hold their breath for 20 minutes, but she was checking on her little pup all the time, coming up, and eventually she got comfortable with us about 5 minutes later, and then we just kind of hung out. David said, we should get going. Let's leave them be, and I'm like, for sure. But I had to get a great photo before yeah, isn't that awesome? Yeah, beautiful little. But these guys as well, right? They depend on that ice to have their little pups there. So if they don't have the ice, where are they going to have their pups? So there's a lot of species that could be impacted by this thinning ice in the Arctic. Did manage to see some polar bears. This was a beautiful drone footage. Look at that one little cub behind mom. The big shadows. Yeah, who's walking? Yeah. And I did things a little different this year. So to minimize some risk, obviously working with bears is very dangerous. 99% of their diet is carnivore. And so I employed some camera traps where I can put a camera out. It's triggered by motion. And sometimes some cool things can happen. Yeah. A little curious in the camera there, so pretty awesome. Yeah. And for those of you that have collected a beautiful beginning, thank you. Yeah, beautiful beginning to the morning, a beautiful beginning to life itself. Great, beautiful mom. And as I mentioned, very well adapted for this Arctic environment, so far better than we are. 3:30 in the morning sunrise. We stayed the whole night on the ice. That wasn't this year. That was a couple years ago. But they're looking forward in the summertime. They're looking forward to cooler temperatures, and hopefully, with a effort by all of humanity, we'll make sure that there is habitat for them into 2100, and that they won't lose that habitat. So, okay, going on to Waskesiu. This was a new one that was released. It's entitled "The Heart of Waskesiu." It's right at the main beach. Does everybody see the heart? Yeah, everybody sees the heart. Beautiful little shadow there. So Waskesiu, this area, obviously my favorite. Just love being here. 20 years ago when I opened up here, why was it? Because as a youngster, we used to go north all the time every summer, fishing up to Besnard Lake, coming into this area, and it was just a real favorite. Golfing the Waskesiu golf course, etc. So, but I never knew just how awesome Emma and Christopher Lake were relative to Waskesiu. No, I'm joking. Anyway, no, little rivalry. So I'm celebrating a new book tonight, Wild Waskesiu and Beyond. Woohoo! Awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. So beautiful book, and lots of images from the Lakeland here, lots of images from Prince Albert National Park. Take a peruse through it. And remember, you belong to nature, not it to you. A famous quote from Grey Owl. So. Now, a couple new releases that I'm going to share. Everybody remember this one, Creative Earth? Oh, you have that one. Right on. Cool. Good, good, good. Okay, so this is intentional camera movement, excuse me. So I'm on a tripod, and I move the camera in a motion up and down with a longer exposure to give a blurred impression. This is a bluff of aspens, and just kind of a really relaxing, calm situation. The trees that are up here, the beautiful aspens in the fall time, it is calm. It's a beautiful time of year, right? So I had to get one more. Yeah. Autumn's Golden Glow, which I will unveil after the talk, okay? Beautiful little moment. So, abstract, you don't even think it's a photograph, right? I turned into a painter this year. Just kidding. So, okay. Before I move to the next one more draw. Everybody ready for one more draw? And how are we doing? Like, we're halfway through now? Everybody's going, can I get some more wine? Okay, who can I get to come up here to do the draw? Who would like to volunteer? Marilyn? Oh. Are you coming up? Marilyn's coming. Awesome. Okay. Draw Dale's name. You did that one year, didn't you?
I think maybe.
I think you did. Oh, you got two.
I got two.
No, we're going to have to do them both.
Oh, good.
Two of them at the end. Holy cow. Donna Boyle. Woohoo! Congratulations. That's awesome. Okay. So for a $50 gift certificate. And given it's 20 years, we should have another one. There should be two at the end, right? Oh, this is awesome. Tammy Boyle. Awesome. Cool. Great. I love it. Awesome. Yeah. No, but different last names, right? You guys aren't related, are you? No, didn't think so. Okay, but the names are the same. It's hilarious. Okay. Okay. I have to look at my notes here because now we're really going to have a fun time. What animal would you most like to be on a cold day? No, sorry. Yeah, on a cold day. A little otter. Look at that little otter. And that's not sped up. That little guy's just going. Oh, look. Did anybody see that wolf running behind me? Watch closely. Watch closely, right down here. Watch. Did you guys catch that at the end? Yeah, a little bit of a fish there. I had just an incredible encounter. Otters at the Narrows there are usually on the other side, right? And so it's quite a distance to photograph that. Even with my really big lenses, it's hard to capture some of those images. But I found another spot this year and was able to set up in a blind and sit and watch these guys fish. They had an open spot. It froze up about 3 days later. But oh my goodness, I got 2 amazing days with these otters. But I felt really bad for this guy because this guy had, no, it's in otters. It's known as pike syndrome. And what it is, if they eat too many pike, if they eat too many fish, one of their teeth, it starts to grow a fish out of that tooth. I'm serious. You guys... Okay, well, don't. Anyway, all right. Okay, so sorry, I just have to recover from that. You guys not believing the biologist. So anyway, all right. But in all seriousness, these are river otters, right? So they're in our national parks. You can find them over at Anglin Lake as well. Has anybody ever seen them at Emma or Christopher? You guys have? Lots of tracks, but never seen it. You've seen them? Oh, awesome. Yeah, they're beautiful little species, right? You saw an otter yesterday?
The bears are on the way to the Narrows.
Really?
The little pond just before where not the bears, where the foxes.
Foxes are cool. Yeah. Yeah, they love that spot. Yeah, they love that spot. So cool. Yeah, well, especially in springtime, they'll be out looking for other mates, right? So they'll be around. Yeah, they're a cool little animal. The river otters have about 300 to 400,000 strands of fur per square inch. Yeah, very well adapted. So when you saw that previous video, you saw how they're taking care of that coat. That coat is so important. They don't really have a layer of blubber. They have that fur that traps air and then insulates them in the cold water. Okay? When we look at sea otters, these guys here, right? Hey, man, chilling out. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, when we look at sea otters, they have about 1 million hairs per square inch. Their fur is even more important to them, to keeping them warm and such. And our river otters, people mentioned seeing them on land. They can go on land and such. They'll go out hunting sometimes or moving between one water body and another water body. However, sea otters, if you ever see them on land, they're a sick otter. They actually have something wrong. So yeah, these guys are purely aquatic all the time, okay? Now, one thing all of you have to remember, okay? So Jason said that you all have to remember this. This is the only thing you have to remember from this talk, okay? We should always be kind to otters, especially our animal friends. To others. Okay, you got it. Wah, wah, wah. Come on. Okay, One more for those of you that maybe you have a good friend here or you have your wife or your husband here. Okay, I want you to look at your partner right now, okay? Please look at them, okay? And I want you to ask a question, one question. Why did you marry them? Anybody know the answer? Because there weren't any others like you. This is awesome. This is awesome. All right, pretty fun. Okay, the final release. Pretty fun. Yeah. Why do otters slide? You know, it's a good question. I actually don't know the 100% answer on that, but I think part of it is that when the adaptation would be is that deep snow, they wouldn't be very effective to getting through that deep snow. And so that long, sleek body with that awesome fur coat, right? Easy to just run and slide, run and slide, run and slide. So that would be my number one guess, yeah. When you look at mink, right, kind of a similar species, same family, they don't do that, but they're a lot lighter on their feet. Otters, I couldn't believe this. Sea otters, you guys, they can be up to like 60, 70 pounds in weight. Now, our river otters aren't that weight. They're probably 20-ish, but they're going to sink in the snow. So, yeah, okay. Nobody otter like me? Oh, okay. Catch of the day. Woohoo! Double catch. Anybody ever been out fishing and caught 2 fish on a line? Yeah? Holy. Well, then you need this. Anyway, amazing moment to capture with 2 little perch. And this guy back here is going, hey, are you going to share or not? And he's giving him the cold shoulder. Nope, not happening. Anyway, incredible moments in Waskesiu on Waskesiu Lake. So, okay. Any other questions before I go on here? No? Okay. So, for those of you that would like my autograph, after the talk here, I'm going to be at the back there, okay, so the very back corner, and I brought my beautiful pen that my good friend's father made for me, and I can sign a book or I can sign whatever you might like, okay, so in all honesty. You've been a lot of fun. I hope I've caught your attention. I hope that I've caught you all in loving nature more and more, and your friends and your family, okay, because the Lakeland area, well, you guys caught my heart. And that comes from a serious place. I really appreciate everything that happened here in the last 20 years. I really do. Thank you guys, okay? Thank you. That was fun. Yeah, awesome.